right, guys. Good morning. It is. Look, that Chevron was on fire. Well, RV was on fire. Remember a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
Still closed down.
Wow.
We're in series. Anyways, Thursday night for us, Friday morning for you guys. We had our PLBS Bible College. We're opening enrollment. The class starts on February 22nd. If that's something you're interested in, let me know immediately right away so we can get the books and syllabus and everything over to you. The course is called The 4 Keys of Hearing the Voice of God. So anyways, we had the Bible College class and came out, did a little fellowship with Benjamin, Armando, and Lorena. Sister Lorena is the one that translates for me for the Spanish service, and Armando is her husband who preached the Spanish service this last Sunday.
Yes.
And look, it finally stopped raining, so hopefully it stays not raining until we get home. So this time I am taking the freeway, but actually we got to stop at the church real quick to do something, which is in the next exit. But anyways, guys, we did our first, I guess you could call it devotional.
Relevant Bible talk in a sense.
Yeah, in Spanish on the Spanish YouTube channel. If you don't understand Spanish, I'm sorry. But if you do understand Spanish, or if you know somebody that only speaks Spanish, share that devotional. It's on the other YouTube channel, House of Rest en Español. And it has its own YouTube channel, and we're trying to grow it. So Armando and Lorena came in. Well, they're enrolled in the Bible College, and after I said, "Hey, do you guys mind coming into the podcast room and doing a video with me and Sharon?" And they said, "Yeah, let's do it." So it was cool. Each of us shared a little bit about our testimony, because I gotta assume that the Spanish world don't know who we are. So we each introduced ourselves. Sharon shared a little bit about how she came to the Lord. I shared how I came to the Lord, and so did Lorena and Armando. I did it in Spanish, guys. I thought it was going to be a little harder, but it wasn't so bad. I was trying not to say something where I knew I wasn't going to know the words. So it's a little harder because I had to think ahead of what I was going to say. But it was cool. It was cool. As a sheriff. Look at that. All white truck back there. Usually they're black and white.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, it's moving a lot because this is a bumpy road. Yeah, so in the Bible College, today's lesson was talking about journaling. And you don't have to be in a Bible college to journal, guys. And in case you don't know what I'm talking about, is the fact that, prayer should be a two-way conversation. And to a lot of us, look, you can see my hood, so now it looks like Miami Vice. To a lot of us, we think our prayer life is God just sitting there silently while we just talk and talk and talk and talk. And prayer should be a conversation. There is a time and a moment when we pour out our petitions unto the Lord. Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, see, look, it's all white. It's all a white truck. It's a sheriff.
Oh, wow.
I never see them all white.
Yeah. They're coming up. It's a nice truck.
Yeah, it is. I think he wants to race me.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's a K9 unit.
Oh, that's a nice truck.
Yeah. So, what I was saying is that, journaling, guys, it's a good way to document what the Lord tells you to journal, because a lot of times, let's be honest, you ask for something in prayer, or you're praying about something in prayer, and by the time it happens, you forget. But when you document it on a journal, when you're praying petitions for somebody or somebody's salvation, or and then when it happens, when the Lord tells you something, you write it down. And when it happens, you have a documented, dated journal that says, look at this. Look what the Lord told me. Look what I asked the Lord. And then when it happens months later, it's a thing to rejoice over. Because it's already done. Sharon has to run in and get something real quick here. But it's a good thing to journal, guys. And that's what the whole Bible course is about. It's called the 4 Keys of Hearing the Voice of God. And one of the things is there's 4 keys, and one of them, the last key, is to journal, to write down. And this changed my life. When I learned this, when I was incarcerated, I learned about the 4 keys of hearing the voice of God. It has changed my life. It's changed the way I do ministry, the way I preach, the way I do Bible study. It changed everything, because before that, my prayer life was one-sided. Think about that. Think about this. How do you think you can be edified? By saying 10,000 words to the Lord and Him saying 0? Or by saying 100 words to Him and Him saying 9,000 words to you? But a good way to learn is to hear the voice of God, is to write it down. Because a lot of you are already hearing His voice, but here's the problem: is that you're hearing Him speak to you, and when the moment you start to feel like He's speaking to you, you stop the flow, because then you start contemplating, wondering if that was really Him, if it wasn't Him, this and that. But when you journal, you can always read later what the Lord is telling you now. So in other words, you don't stop the flow of the Spirit of God. You don't stop the flow of His voice. And in our prayer life, when we don't journal, you might allow the Lord to get a few sentences in, and then you stop it because you start wondering if it's Him. Compared to, can you imagine having an entire page of what you feel the Lord is telling you? You could always analyze it for the rest of your life after, but here's the thing: you got it down on paper. You got it down. And if it's God that you're hearing, how special is that? Of having an entire page of His words to you forever. You can read it every day of your life if you want. And so see what happens in the Bible college, guys, is that we have a classroom here. And if you're local, you can attend the class. And if you're not local, you can still attend via Zoom. So if you like, the way we do our Bible studies, the way we, consider joining the Bible college, enrolling in the Bible college. You can enter in as a Bible college, or you can enter in a sense, as a Bible study. And if this, if that interests you, if you know what I mean, if you want to know what I mean, all you got to do is ask. But so we have a whole classroom for PLBS, Paracletos Leadership Bible School. People come into the class. I send all the students. It's 54 students in this class. I send them the link for Zoom. People are logging in from other cities, from other states, and they're doing the study live along with the whole classroom there together. We're doing it together, and that's pretty cool. And then if a student does miss the live, I record the session, and then I send them the link. And it's been working out really good. And each week, it's a class a week, a lesson a week. But anyways, like I said, today's lesson was about journaling. And I'm just curious, do any of you journal? Do you ever write out your prayers? Do you ever quiet yourself to hear what God is saying to you? You know, if you're saying, well, is that even biblical? Your entire Bible is a journal. Think about it. Every single book in the Bible was written by somebody that was hearing the Spirit of God speak to them. And what did they do? They wrote it down. Every single page in the Bible is a journal of what the Holy Spirit was telling them. Think about that. It is biblical. It is biblical to be able to write down what God is saying to you, what He's speaking into your life, into your marriage, into your family, you know, and you have it forever. You know, and like I said, obviously I'm giving you, 10 minutes of this, but this is an entire course. And like that starts, like I said, February 22nd. It's going to be at 5:30 every Thursday. You can come in person or you can watch on the Zoom link. You're free to do either one. You can enroll to be a student that you want to get college credits, and you're going to have, you know, you're going to have tests, you're going to have questions, you're going to have homework. But if that's too much for you, but you do want to learn anyways, you can enroll as a student, not as a college student, and you get to enjoy the Zoom classes. You get to enjoy the books at your own leisure, you know, and you get to learn, you know. So like I said, if this is something you're interested in, please give it a shot. We have 53 students, and the students love this class. They truly do. You know, I have not met one that did not like it, you know. And you know, I didn't mean for this video to be, you know, a promotion of it, but I mean, it truly changed my life, man. I'm not lying. I'm not exaggerating. It's the truth. I truly preach. Out of all the Bible college courses I've had, because I have my bachelor's in ministry, I have my associates in biblical studies, but out of all the courses I've done, this is the one that impacted me the most. Is the 4 keys of hearing God's voice. And it's as simple as quieting yourself, to quiet your mind, to quiet your heart, and to open the eyes of your heart for vision, to allow the spontaneous voice of God to flow, and 4, to journal and write it down. Those 4 keys. But it goes much deeper than that, guys. We have an entire textbook and workbook and all that stuff. It's an investment into your spiritual life. It truly is. Oh, here she comes. So yeah, we did a devotional for the Spanish channel, and all Spanish. All of us, myself, Sharon, we were doing complete Spanish. We're good?
Yep.
All right.
Good. Let's go.
So here we go, guys. Here we go. Thank God it's not raining. I could get on the freeway. Look around the church.
Why is that trash can right outside our door? Did you see that?
Yeah, like it was a bucket.
Yeah.
Oh, look, all the water's gone. Remember, this whole street was flooded.
Mm-hmm. We really need to get those accordion gates outside of our door.
Yep.
There's too many people doing stuff. Those
Yeah.
enclosures.
So, guys, you know, there's nothing wrong with journaling. You don't have to be in the college class to journal. It's important, you know, and I was telling right when you walked out that out of all the students, I have not met one that said that this is not important. All of them. You know, it has really changed, you know.
It's changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I wish I can I wish I could, if I wasn't doing as much ministry, or if I wasn't a pastor's wife, I think I would probably be able to really focus a lot more on the class the way that I would really love to. But it was just really, you know, at the beginning, I'll be so honest with you guys, at the beginning I was like, David, you know, maybe it's not a good idea for me to take the class because I'm not gonna have time, and I really battled with it, you guys, because I was like, you know, I don't want to start something that I really can't give my 150% to. And I battled it with the Lord, and I was like, Lord, you know, maybe I shouldn't do this. But then I think from chapter 1, when I started reading the book, I was reading it with David one day in the living room, and it started to talk about Mary and Martha. And I felt like I couldn't breathe in one part of the book, and it really moved me, and it touched my heart so much. And the Lord just began to show me some things, and I said, okay, Lord, I'm gonna stop making excuses, and I'm gonna do this. And I did, guys. You know, I would sit by myself and I'd quiet myself, and without even David knowing, I would try journaling, and sometimes it was hard, and sometimes I'd journal on my phone, or I'd journal by myself, and I'd start quieting myself. And then the Lord slowly started to wake me up at certain times in the morning, at 5 o'clock, almost close to 5 o'clock every morning, and I just have a full-on conversation with him, and he just starts speaking to my heart. And there was something that he was showing me, and I started to...
What the Lord is showing you?
Yeah. The Lord began to show me something, and there was something that I began to feel very, very heavy in my spirit. And I was like, Lord, what is it that you're trying to tell me? And I didn't understand what it was at the time, but I knew that it was something. And there'd be times where I'd start telling David while we were driving in the car, and I know that a few weeks ago I told you guys that, you know, we were on our way to Southern California, that I'd share with you guys, but I'm ready to share a little bit with you guys now. But when we would be driving, and I'd tell David, you know, I feel like my father, the one that passed away, the one that did a lot of harm to me, the one who had sexually abused me, the one who had hurt me, the one who I call monster, that father. I would tell David, I feel like he's not my father. And David would be like, what are you talking about? You know, and he's like, why are you saying that? And I'd be like, I don't know. I just feel like the Lord has just been speaking to me lately, you know, in our conversations. And I started to feel something in my heart, very, very heavy. And it became more and more as I began to take this class. The Lord started to speak to me more and more. And one day in conversation, I was talking to my little sister, and I started to talk to her about the class and how I would love for her to take the class, and how the Lord was speaking to me. And I started to feel something, and I told my little sister, I said, sister, I said, I think I want to take a DNA test, and just, you know, just take a DNA test. And she says, why are you thinking that way? You know, don't think like that. You know, why are you saying that? And I said, I don't know, because I feel like there's just something in my spirit that just keeps telling me, like the Lord keeps telling me that I should take a DNA test. She goes, maybe you should just talk to our mom. Just talk to our mom. And something just was, you know, I just started to feel a certain way, and I said, well, maybe I will do that. And maybe about 2 weeks passed, And one day I decided to talk to my mom. I was just talking to her. And, you know, just maybe sarcastically, I told my mom, hey, Mom, I'm going to do a DNA test. One of those DNA tests, you know, those, what are they called? Those,
DNA tests.
Yeah, but they're the ones where you find the registries.
Yeah.
Where you just find out who you're, you know, they're like registry DNA tests, you know, and I did say that to her, and I said, I'm going to do one of those, and she started saying, what are you talking about? You know, you're my daughter, you know, and I said, yeah, I know I'm your daughter, but I want to take a DNA test, and she's like, well, you know, don't be saying that, you're my daughter, and I said, Mom, and I said, I just want to take a DNA test with my siblings, and she got very, very quiet. And when she got very quiet, guys, my heart sank. It just, something just didn't seem, something seemed out of place. And I just knew that there was just something that was off. And a few weeks after that, you know, my mom had shared with me that her best friend was dying, and she received a phone call from her best friend to go see her, and I guess her best friend had been best friends with her since I was young, I guess, and her best friend had finally told her, you know, Maria, it's time for you to tell your daughter the truth. And the truth is that, you know, my father, all this time that I thought was my father, was not my real father. And, you know, and my mom on New Year's Day had finally revealed to me that that he wasn't my father, that I have a father out there who is still living, and I may have some siblings out there. And guys, you know, the Lord began to reveal that to me through being able to hear God's voice. This was something that I would have never had been able to have known if I would not have quieted myself. And it was one of, I guess, a bittersweet moment for me, because you guys, for many of you that have been following us for a long, long time, you know my story, you know my testimony, you know the abuse that I suffered, the sexual abuse that I suffered to the hands of the man who I thought was my father for many years as a little girl. It was a freedom that I felt. And, you know, going to Southern California, you know, a few weeks ago, it was a moment for me to be able to face my mom and to face my grandma, which was, you know, who I thought was my father's mom, the only grandmother I've ever known, and to be able to face my family. And it's been a bittersweet moment these last few weeks, guys, for me, because you know, that's what I've been going through. So yeah, and all because I quieted myself to hear God's voice. So, do I believe in quieting ourselves and taking the time to journal and to listen to God's, you know, listen to hear God's voice? Absolutely. That's it.
See, guys, you heard it yourself. Journaling, quieting yourself, allowing the spontaneous voice of God to flow, allowing God to show you vision, and writing it down. Whether you take this course or not, but just take those things that I just shared with you.
Those steps.
And make it a part of your life, those 4 keys. And it'll it'll change everything. And you'll be able to now have a flowing river of God's presence and voice continually. What, like that part where Jesus says, that he has water for those that thirst, that out of your belly will flow rivers of living water. And he even says in the scripture, this was talking about the Holy Spirit. In the book of Revelations, it mentions that the river of life flows out of the throne of God.
And you know what's beautiful too is that, guys, I realized that this wasn't just for me. I have been praying for my mom. You guys know that I have been praying for my family for so long. And I have been praying for my mom's salvation. And guys, I truly believe that my mom needed to be freed. And I believe that this was for her. But the fact that, she had asked me, how did you find out? And I told her, Mom, Jesus spoke to me. He talked to me. He told me. Because, for her to be able to go to the side of her dying best friend, and for her to tell her, you need to tell her, and then for her to be able to hear it from me, guys, that is huge. She knew that it was God that had spoken to me, because there was no other way. There was no other way for me to have found out. I did not even know. I had never known that this person, and here's the thing, her best friend that I had not known that took me in or took us in when I was little, I never even knew that she was my aunt. Guys, this is huge. God had to reveal it to her. Like the Lord needed to show her.
So your mom's best friend was the sister of your biological father. Is that how your mom met him?
It's through marriage, yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, you got to understand that the Lord will be so strategic. My mom had been living with this for so long, and she needed to be freed of this. When we went to go see her just a few weeks ago, I seen a whole different countenance in her. She seemed like different, did she not?
Like a weight was off of her.
A huge weight off of her.
Holding that in her soul for 40-something years.
Yes, guys. And I love my mom. I love her. And I have been praying for her salvation. It was such a heavy thing for me to think and to carry this for so many years, thinking that my own biological father had sexually abused me for so long.
It still doesn't take away what was done to you, but the fact that it wasn't your biological.
And it's okay if I don't ever get a chance to meet my real father, but I know that I have a mother. But I also know that there is a father out there that did not do this to me. Guys, that to me means the world to me. So, you have to quiet yourself. I almost did not give him the chance to speak to me because I was so busy being a Martha once again, because I was so busy trying to get events done and get this done and get that done. And guys, sometimes the busyness of so many things try to catch up to us, and we want to get things done, and we want to take the kids to football practice and soccer practice, and we want to busy ourselves with so many things of the world. Stop for a minute, because this world is not going to give you anything compared to what Jesus can give you. He's trying to speak to you. He has something to say to you. You know, just yesterday I was telling somebody something. Do you guys realize that I almost tried to commit suicide twice in my life? Twice, but the Lord spared my life. Could you imagine that if I would have taken my life because of somebody that wasn't even my father, my real father, I would not be here today. But He spared my life because one day I was going to come to find the truth, and this truth is right now. I rejoice for this right now. I may not get to know Him, but I rejoice for this truth because it set me free, and it's setting my mom free. Just listen for that still small voice. So I just really wanted to finally share that with you guys, because I know that I said that I would, and I hope that you're hearing me. That's it.
Amen. Well, guys, there you go. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Pray that you have a blessed day, that you have a blessed beginning of your weekend. If you are local and you attend House of Rest, please don't forget that we have cleanup all day Saturday, and from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. We truly need your help. Each room is going to have a chart with things that need to be done, so you're not going to have to go there and wonder or chase after us trying to figure out. Like, you're going to be able to walk in, say hi, go to the room, whatever room you choose to, and there's going to be a list of things that room needs. And we appreciate you so much. This is our church. This ain't my church. This ain't Sharon's.
Nope.
This is ours. This is a place that God has blessed us with. You know, and if you are local, please, you know, come in and be a helping hand. We'd really appreciate it. And that's pretty much it, guys. So God bless you, and have a blessed day.
Bye, guys. We love you guys.
Bye. Oh, if you understand Spanish, go watch the devotional we did on the Spanish YouTube channel, House of Rest en Español. Actually, I'll try to put the link in the comments. If I forget, please somebody do it, but I'm going to try my hardest to remember. I just can't do it while I'm driving. I'm going to upload this right now, and so yeah. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.